Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. This is going to be a reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. This is a waning moon reading, which takes place on February 13th and February 15th and will be until February 23rd before we have our new moon in Pisces. Now, the waning moon period is a time to really go within. We've just gone through the full moon, all of the expectations and the build up to the full moon. And so it's a period where we sort of quiet down, where we do the shadow work, where we sort of analyze what it is we want for this upcoming new moon cycle, what we've manifested and what we weren't able to manifest, and take a look at the reasons why. Is it still something you want to manifest? And to wrap up projects, and just sort of to quiet yourself and take a good look at where you might need some healing or need to do some work. So without further ado, Capricorn, let's go ahead and get into this reading. While I'm doing it, I'm just going to ask that you guys give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, comment, share, ring that notification bell. But most of all, I want to thank you guys for listening and for joining me on this journey. All right, so we're going to ask spirit, angels, ancestors, loved ones who have passed, and spirit guides, what messages do you have for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs? What messages do you have for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for this waning moon period? What messages do you have for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs? Okay, Capricorn, your overall energy here is the star. This is Aquarius energy. And the star is all about healing. It's all about rejuvenation. It's all about the calm after the storm. It's all about using your own inner strength and guidance to figure out where you're going, your life purpose, what it is you need to do. Now, the star card is showing up in reverse. So I feel like some of my Cappies out there, you might be going through a bit of a stormy time, or you're waiting on the respite and the rest, which this period very much so can bring to you. Okay, the way you guys are representing yourselves is the 10 of Pentacles, which is your energy, earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And 10 of Pentacles is all about, here we have the home, we have about finance, about abundance, about stability. But this is showing up in the reverse, and this is kind of like bucking the system. It's you turning your back on what's conventional. As one of my favorite readers always says, this is her running away with the circus card. So you guys might feel like you want to run away with the circus, or you want to do something that's unconventional. What you manifested might not be what you want. Maybe you thought you wanted, a very conventional life, very steady, very, with lots of abundance, home, family, what have you. And I feel like some of you are starting to feel like this isn't actually working for you, or you're reevaluating what it is you want in the family, career sector of your lives. Now, for others of you, you're feeling as if you want to close out a cycle and you're about to do it, but you do have to turn this around. Some of you might want to buy a house, you might want to move in with your partner, you might want to start a family, you might be married, getting married, etc. But the 10 of Pentacles in reverse is really telling me that there's something there that's blocking you. You feel like you don't have enough energy, physical or mental, or you don't have enough resources yet. Okay, so for some of you, you're planning, how you can save more, or how you can attract more abundance into your life. Now, what's holding you back, or what's sort of hiding in the shadows? We have this Four of Wands card. This is Aries, Leo, Sag energy, so it could be a person, it could be your partner. The Four of Wands is my 1111 card. It's soulmate energy, it could be twin flame energy, it could be your partner. But the Four of Wands is also all about a house. It's all about building a house. It's all about a marriage. Okay, so you might have one of these, a marriage or, construction on hold for some reason. That's most likely because of some sort of financial snafu, or it could be your commitment to someone or something that's holding you back, that you're not realizing, For some reason, there's something that's gone awry here. Okay, so is your partner bringing to the table what you're bringing to the table? Is it equal? Now, not necessarily like if I put in $10, you put in $10, but is it energetically equal? Is it a balanced partnership? Is it a contract that you want to get into? Now, or are you are you verbally, do you have a verbal or written contract with someone else or with a job that's not allowing you to move forward in your relationship? Right? So some of you might not be able to move towards your, your loved one, for example, at this time because you have a contract or you have some sort of obligation. Maybe it's an obligation that, and I'm not saying it in a negative way, but with your children that's not allowing you to move forward. Maybe you want to make a move, but you don't want to leave your family, or you don't want to leave your job, or your job is asking you to leave, something along those lines. But the Four of Wands card, I am really getting though that it has to do more with a partnership if you're involved in a partnership. The Four of Wands is absolutely one of the happiest cards in the deck. So Spirit is also asking you to take a look. How happy are you? And this is very conventional happiness. So we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is, in the upright, it's all about conventional family and abundance, wealth, the good job, the steady job. This is very Capricornian energy. It's stable, hardworking energy. It's something you've taken a long time to build up. And then we have the Four of Wands, which is absolute happiness, which is representative of the same thing. But the Ten of Pentacles is in reverse. So Spirit is really asking you to take a look at what makes you happy, what brings you stability. All right. And there's something there. There's something in the shadows here that you have to take a look at. Now, what you have to accept and what can't be changed. Here we have the Three of Wands. This is more Leo, Aries, Sag energy. And the Three of Wands is all about growth and development. It's all about waiting for your ships to come in. It's all about imparting your knowledge into the rest of the world or to others, taking everything that you've learned and making, it's growing a business. It's about commerce. Here on this deck, we can see these flowers. They're deeply rooted and they're growing and they're very fruitful and they're multiplying, right? But this is showing up in the reverse. The Three of Wands in reverse is the inability to make something happen. It could be a financial project. It could be you might be having troubles conceiving, creating, or growing your family, or making this partnership grow, or taking this partnership to the next level. That's something that you have to come to terms with, something that you have to accept, and it may not be able to be changed. Okay? Now, what you need to let go of here, we do have the Queen of Swords, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. I love the Queen of Swords in this deck because she does have her sword behind her back, but don't get confused. She can still, whip that around and, defend herself, no problem. But in this deck, her heart chakra is completely open, her heart and her solar plexus. Unfortunately, she's showing up in the reverse. She's somebody who's very logical. She's been hurt. She's very intelligent, but in the reverse, this has turned to some sort of bitterness. So Capricorn, you have to do the work and see, is that bitterness something that's coming from within? Have you been hurt in relationships? Have you been burned at work? Have you tried to start a project that you weren't able to complete, either having to do with your home, or was there a contract that you lost? Okay, it could resonate in a lot of different ways. And how are you reacting? Because sometimes our ego will have us react in a way where we're attacking others, where we're insulting others. Maybe we're sending, negative communications. It could also be that, we're secretly wishing ill upon others. You might not be saying it out loud, but that's the energy that you're sending out into the world. And Spirit's saying you need to correct this because you need to vibrate at the highest possible level, because that's going to bring you closer to your dreams. Now, we're all guilty of this, right? I'm not accusing Capricorn of being, maybe you're not doing this. Okay, but some of us, we have to take a look and see, has somebody slighted you at work or at school or in your relationship, and how are you reacting? Now, this could also be a person, a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius person that you need to let go of, that, has to do their own inner work and that has become negative, has become vicious, is insulting. This is one of my, narcissist cards as well. Somebody who's just, out to sort of hurt you because they're hurt inside, but they haven't quite come to grips with that. So see if you're dealing with somebody like that, or see if you're exhibiting any of these qualities. Now, your projected outcome, or what you hope to gain, this is the Five of Swords. Now, the Five of Swords is Venus in Aquarius, and remember, Aquarius is very detached energy. But what I like about this deck is there's a couple here, and they're under attack. And I feel like they are standing together, they're strong, and they're facing whatever they have to face, but they're doing it together. And no matter how unpleasant it might be, that's not a traditional reading of this card. Okay, this card is oftentimes about backstabbing. It's about doing anything, being cutthroat, doing anything you can to win. But I do feel like these two are standing strong, and they're running up against a lot of opposition and maybe a bit of criticism, or there's a lot of negative communication coming in towards them. Okay, the Star card, remember, more Aquarius energy, is telling you guys the real need to heal, rest, rejuvenation, and that there is a calm after the storm, but you might have to weather this week. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull an advice card for my dearest Capricorns. I wanted to say Aquarius. You guys really, again, there's some Aquarius energy in this reading. Some of you, again, might have that in your charts, or just be exhibiting these qualities, or you might be dealing with an Aquarius person. Okay, an advice card, please, for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Okay, children, know that your children are protected. Good. Okay, so what I do like about this, we do see a lot of this marriage, this house, and this home card. So for some of you, this has to do with children. Some of you might be going through a separation. The Queen of Swords could be the mother or father of your children. Remember, we all have masculine and feminine energy, so don't get caught up on the gender of the cards. There is a marriage here. Okay, and this Ten of Pentacles could be you walking away from a marriage. You might be in separation at this time, and it may be because you're splitting up with, your partner, or it may be that you've been taken away because of work or because of some sort of contract. Okay, and I feel like, also the Three of Wands can also be sending your kids off to college card, right? Now you've raised your kids, you have to allow them to be out in the world, and that can be a really scary thing. And the Three of Wands is you not wanting to, you being overprotective, you not wanting to let them do that. So I might be dealing with some helicopter parents here, or some tiger moms, or what have you. But if you don't have children, or children are not involved in this situation, there could be a need for you to do the inner child work. If you guys are comfortable and familiar with doing that and taking care of your inner child, that's taking care of you and your basic needs and your need for protection. So if you're in this Five of Swords energy, and with this Queen of Swords energy, which is negative, which is fighting, which is insults, okay, and it's really kind of below the belt, there's a need for healing and there's a need for peace here, okay, Capricorn? So make sure that you're taking care of your inner child. Now, for some of you, this children is going to speak to your projects. Maybe you're trying to build a home. Maybe you've got a side hustle. Maybe it's a project at work or at school. Know that your project is protected no matter what's going on around you. Now, I'm going to pull some archetype cards. I don't use these cards very often because I find them for myself. They can be quite triggering, but they're quite powerful at the same time. So I'm going to pull two archetype cards, Capricorn. I want you guys to decide if these energies resonate with you, or maybe somebody you're dealing with, or your situation. All right, so let's go ahead and pull two archetypes for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. This is definitely going to give you more insight at this time, this very powerful time where shadow work and assessment is very open to us, and, and preferred at the waning moon period. So here you guys have the Don Juan card. This came out for Taurus, and God. Both of these cards came out for Taurus. Okay, so the Don Juan card is the light attribute. Spotlights your positive, seductive qualities. The shadow attribute, using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. Okay, so we do here have the Venus and Aquarius energy. Somebody might be really looking to leave a situation. It could be you or it could be your partner. And it could just be because, they want to express their positive qualities. They no longer want to be in a relationship or in a marriage. For some of you, you might have found out with this Three of Wands that there was a third party involved, right? We have threes, and this is creating, this has put the relationship under a lot of stress. Okay, so I feel like for some of you, not for all of you. Okay, so don't go ahead and run off and think, my partner's cheating on me, but it may resonate with some of you, and I feel like you guys already know that, and it's something that you're really considering walking away from because either you or your partner wants that sort of freedom. Okay, but make sure that you're not just, and I said this to Taurus as well, make sure that you're not just filling a void, using the power of romantic attraction for some sort of private agenda, trying to move up in your job or trying to get something from someone. Okay, God, interestingly enough, I just said God, and here it is. Interestingly enough, I was reading the headlines about a famous person who was a famous bombshell, and she married someone for like 12 hours or something, or 12 days. It was a really short period. And he said, there's no fool like an old fool. I think she just married me to pay the bills. So I'm asking you, it's just weird because that's what the message I'm getting. For some of you, make sure that you're not doing something similar. I'm not passing judgment on that situation at all because I'm definitely not privy to any sort of inside information. But, in this situation, just do make sure that you're not using your, romantic attraction for private agendas or to fill some sort of void after a breakup or because things in your own relationship might not be going well. Okay. Also, this could be if you're not in a relationship, I feel like you could be trying to get somewhere. Make sure that you're not just relying on, your looks or, trying to get someone to fall in love with you so that you can get a promotion. I'm definitely not accusing my Capricorns of doing that. I actually feel more than anything, Capricorns, that you should be aware of other people at this time. Make sure that their intentions are good and true. Now we have the God archetype coming out, which is benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. And the shadow attributes, despotism and cruelty, using power to control other people. Okay, so do check and see if there are any power struggles within this relationship, especially, if you're in a relationship with somebody, but if you guys have separated and there are children involved, make sure that you're not putting the children, you're not using the children against someone, or make sure that make sure that you have those power struggles under control and that you're not stepping out of bounds or somebody isn't stepping out of bounds. I'm getting that Emperor, that Aries energy. Okay, and controlling you or you controlling them. Okay, so remember with these archetype cards, again, sometimes they can be quite triggering, and just take a look, does it resonate with you or your situation or the person you're dealing with, and if so, how? Okay, I'm going to pull some animal cards, animal spirit cards for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. All right, Lion Spirit, be generous of spirit. 3 and 7 breaks down to a 10. So we have 2 10s on the ground. So something is coming to a completion. Some of you might be dealing with a Leo person because I do have 2 lions here. And then I do have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. So the importance of being generous at this time, if you're in a relationship with somebody or if you guys are separating, remember, things can get really nasty the minute we start doing tit for tat. Okay. Or when somebody says, this is my house, you need to get out now. I mean, obviously, unless they're posing a danger or a threat to you and your children. But, like trying to be generous as you can, especially if you're going through a breakup, because remember, you did once love this person. Okay, I'm getting it's becoming more specific about a couple. And then we have Rhino Spirit. Okay, number 50, which is overcome any obstacle. All right, so things might not be super easy during this week. Okay, but I think you're also going to strategize and figure out how you guys can overcome any of the difficulties that you're experiencing and turn this star card upside down. How? By trusting yourself, your inner guidance, your inner light, your intuition, and doing the healing work. Okay, you can heal through nutrition, through diet, through exercise. Do Reiki healings, massages, meditation, prayer, writing, being creative, walking in nature. There are lots of ways that you can heal yourself. And then here we have love partnership 26. So Spirit does want me to tell you this does have to do with a love relationship. Okay, and I feel like for many of you, this might be going through a rocky period. You might have children or pets or shared assets or creative endeavors that are involved. Okay, but Spirit does want you to say, know that your children are protected. Okay, and also your inner children. Okay, there's a need. I keep getting that message. There's that need to do that inner work. Okay, there's something that you've tried to grow and expand that just is running up against too many blockages. It may be time to call it quits. It may be time to cut your losses, or it may be just time to step back and see how you can find a creative solution to this issue. But I do see somebody here wanting to be more free, somebody who might want to share their romantic endeavors with other people, or somebody might be or have looked outside of the relationship already. And somebody else here or both are dealing with sort of control issues within this relationship. Okay, Capricorn, I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, comment, share, ring that notification bell. But most of all, thank you guys for listening. I love you, and I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day.